Queen Camilla, the woman who now holds one of the most powerful titles in the world, is far from living a life of luxury and ease. While many imagine that being married to King Charles III would be nothing but royal perks and endless celebrations, the truth is far darker. The constant media scrutiny, the shadow of Princess Diana, and the weight of public expectation make it incredibly difficult to truly enjoy the crown. So, why does it actually suck to be Queen Camilla? When Camilla Parker Bowles married Charles in 2005, she took on more than just the title of wife. She inherited a complicated, often hostile legacy. Camilla's relationship with Charles has been under the microscope for decades. Their love story was riddled with scandal, and though time has somewhat healed the public's opinion, the scars still linger. First, let's address the elephant in the room, Princess Diana. Camilla will forever be compared to Diana, the people's princess, whose tragic death in 1997 immortalized her as a beloved icon. Camilla, on the other hand, was widely blamed for the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage. Though she was never the only factor in their troubled relationship, the public's vilification of Camilla has persisted. Even in the modern era, Diana's ghost casts a long shadow over Camilla's every public move. And it's not just a matter of old headlines. Camilla faces ongoing media scrutiny every single day. Even in her role as queen consort, she's constantly dogged by tabloids and royal commentators who never hesitate to bring up her past. While other royal figures like Kate Middleton or Meghan Markle get to define their roles in a more modern context, Camilla is forever tethered to a controversial history. But what does this mean for Camilla's day-to-day life? It means that every public appearance she makes is dissected. Her wardrobe choices, her facial expressions, and even her interactions with King Charles are subject to intense examination. Her every move is a reminder of how the world still hasn't fully forgiven her for her role in the Charles-Diana drama. The public never seems to let her forget the other woman title she once wore. And then there's the issue of public perception. Even though Charles is now king, the monarchy is under constant pressure to adapt to modern sensibilities. Camilla, as queen consort, is expected to help maintain the monarchy's relevance. But let's be real, her path to the throne wasn't exactly smooth. Her rise to queen consort came after years of public disdain and a series of controversial decisions. The royal family had to tread carefully to ensure that the British public would eventually accept her, and that acceptance has always been fragile. Even her title isn't straightforward. The royal family, in an attempt to appease the public, decided that Camilla would not be known as Queen Camilla at first, but would carry the title of Princess Consort. It wasn't until Charles became king that she was formally recognized as Queen Consort. A step forward, yes, but it still came with challenges. Despite this official title, she still faces resentment from those who see her as a symbol of royal dysfunction, rather than as a rightful queen. The pressure on Camilla has only intensified as she's gotten older. Though she's now stepping into a new phase of her royal life, she still carries the baggage of her past. Let's not forget that the monarchy itself is facing immense challenges, from financial scrutiny to calls for reform. As the consort of a monarch who may be facing the toughest public relations challenges in recent history, Camilla is expected to stand by Charles through thick and thin. But there are moments when it seems like the world is waiting for her to fail. To make matters worse, Camilla must contend with the weight of her own family dynamics. While Camilla and Charles have been happily married for nearly 2 decades, their relationship still faces challenges from external pressures. Camilla has children from her first marriage, and although her kids have embraced their royal connection to some degree, they aren't immune to criticism either. The British press has not been kind to her children, often making them the target of gossip and speculation. If you've ever seen Camilla and Charles together in public, it's easy to spot the deep bond they share. Yet, despite their closeness, their relationship still hasn't escaped the spotlight. Their marriage, though strong, is often criticized for its late start, given the complicated dynamics that came before it. Even in their quieter moments, Camilla is never allowed to live in peace. Her every public interaction with Charles is often reduced to comments on their chemistry or the lack thereof. Critics will always bring up how Camilla was involved in the breakdown of the previous royal marriage, and it's hard for her to fully escape that. The queen consort is expected to support the king unconditionally, but in doing so, she's constantly reminded of a past that refuses to fade away. Let's talk about the role itself, the position of queen consort. In many ways, it's a thankless job. While Camilla does have influence behind the scenes, she doesn't have the same power or responsibility as the reigning monarch. She is expected to support her husband, perform royal duties, and above all, never make a mistake. For someone like Camilla, whose life has been publicly messy, this is a tall order. Every slip-up, no matter how small, is magnified in the eyes of the public. Her relationship with the British people isn't exactly warm and fuzzy either. Camilla is seen by some as a necessary but uncomfortable part of the royal family. To the more ardent supporters of Diana, she will always be the other woman, and no amount of royal charity work or public appearances will change that fact. Camilla has worked hard to improve her image, focusing on causes like literacy and healthcare. However, even her charitable endeavors sometimes fall under suspicion. Is it truly out of goodwill, or is it a way to rebuild a tarnished reputation? Then there's the constant comparison with Kate Middleton, who, as the Princess of Wales, is often seen as the future face of the monarchy. Kate, with her polished image and effortless elegance, contrasts sharply with Camilla, whose very presence challenges the narrative of royal harmony that many want to believe. Camilla doesn't have the same level of popularity, and that disparity must sting. Where Kate is often praised for her grace and demeanor, Camilla is faced with reminders of the public's discomfort with her history. Despite all this, Camilla has done her best to navigate the complexities of royal life with dignity and a sense of duty. She has become more visible in her role, stepping up to support Charles at major royal events. She's worked hard to carve out her own place within the monarchy, despite the constraints. But there's no escaping the truth. Being Queen Camilla means living under constant scrutiny, battling a historical narrative that refuses to die, and fighting for public acceptance that remains tenuous at best. It's clear that Camilla is no stranger to adversity. She's faced scandal, public judgment, and personal challenges, all while trying to make a meaningful contribution to the monarchy. But the reality is that, even with her new title and her high-profile position, Queen Camilla will always be more than just a consort. She will always be the woman who stood at the center of one of the most controversial royal love stories in modern history. So, what's next for Camilla? Will she ever fully escape the shadow of Diana? Can she truly thrive in her role as queen consort? Or will the public's perception continue to weigh heavily on her every move? One thing is certain: her journey is far from over.